excuse me, I don't see it. Where is it out there? It's right out in the parking lot. Miss, excuse me, I don't mean to seem dim, but I don't see it out there. She said, it's the second one in, sir. It's the second one. That's yours. I said, okay. Hello, miss, I actually wanted a real truck, not a toy. I really have to move some stuff. And she said, that's all we have, sir. If you don't want that, you're going to have to get a full-size truck, which will cost you double. I didn't want to pay that. So I said, all right, I'll take the Tonka toy here. So I went on, I got the truck, and I put it in my pocket. I went back inside, and I gave the lady my credit card. And I went outside, and I kind of squeezed myself into the truck. And I was thinking, I have a lot of equipment. Is it going to fit in this? I don't think so. I started to make alternative plans. The equipment that's not packed solidly, I'll put in this. Maybe the equipment that's in solid boxes I could ship down there. Because I don't have time to make alternative plans. This is the day before the convention. And I was driving along, and I stopped at a red light. We do that in my country when the light's red. And I know some of you are Eastern European, but anyway. And some of you are Italian. Anyway, I'm sorry, I can say that. Because I'm from Philadelphia. There's more Italians in Philadelphia than there are in Rome, believe me. And I stopped at the red light, and I was looking in the rear view mirror, and the mirror, in the inside, the mirror had a thing that said, objects in mirror are closer than they appear. And I said, they couldn't possibly be, because I'm looking at the rear doors. And while I was stopped, I reached back, and my fingers touched the back doors of the truck. No, this is not going to work. So I got on my phone, and I called and I said, look, lady, this truck is not going to work. I'm going to bring it back. I don't care what you have to give me. I don't care what I have to pay. I'm bringing the truck back right now. Give me whatever is available. He's good, isn't he? We didn't rehearse this, by the way. This is all off the cuff. So I drove back in. It was a cloudy day. And when I drove in, a small break appeared in the clouds. And a singular shaft of golden light shone down on this massive 4-meter-long Dodge cargo van that had not been there before. I ran inside and I said, oh, hey, the Dodge van out there, is that promised to anyone? And she said, no, sir, it isn't. Well, give it to me! She said, I can't. Why? It's not clean. I will lick the motherfucker clean! Give me the keys! So I did. And the convention happened. It's amazing. A lot of folk out there, you may think the convention just happens. You have no idea what goes on behind the scenes. How much work, how much blood, sweat, tears, and more blood goes into making one of these conventions work. So I will ask you a personal favor. When you leave here tonight and you're out there having fun, when you see somebody with the staff lanyards, the red and orange, and the security lanyards, please thank them, because they are suffering terribly so that you can have a good time. There's your guilt trip for the evening. I'm gonna grab myself some of this. A couple of weeks ago, I was at a convention in England, which is not where he's from. Don't make that mistake. He will hit you. I made it once. Yes, that. That's not a dueling scar. Anyway, that was from a broken Guinness bottle. A year ago, I was invited to be a guest at, of all things, an anime convention. You all understand anime, that's the Japanese animation fandom. That's not at all furry. They said, would you come to our convention? And I said, really? You want me to go there as a guest? They said, yes, we want you to be a guest because we've never had a furry guest. We want you to be our furry guest. I said, okay, sure. Now, I'm in the business. I understand how these things work. You have the guests, and then you have, the guests. We call it the A-list and the B-list. I knew that in anime, I'm not an A-list guest because they had these luminary voice actors. People who are, we do the, what's this, Naruto and all, we do the voices for that. And then we have this fat old Yank who drinks. Works every time. Shut up! It's like a reflex, you can't stop. So, I went to their webpage, and this was really driven home, because when you went to the webpage, on the front page it said, amazing voice actor number 1 and amazing voice actor number 2, our guests, and that's all it said. If you went to the guest page, it was amazing voice actor number 1, amazing voice actor number 2, and then if you scroll down to the bottom, and some drunken old Yank who drinks. Under the fold. But that's okay, that's all right, I understand. I'm gonna fight it. My forehead itches, oh boy. Stop it! Anyway, when I arrived, they told me it was going to be in Sunderland, in England. And I looked up Sunderland. It's on the east coast of England, and it's all the way up north. It's almost Scotland. As a matter of fact, it would have been Scotland, but there's some history going on there. And it's on the beach. I said, oh boy, I get to go to a convention on the beach in June. So I packed my suntan oil and my coconut oil and my beach umbrella and my flip-flops and my Speedos, and I was all ready. And I arrived, and I was picked up by one of their senior staff members. And I immediately felt sympathy for the boy, because I saw the look in his eyes. This one, he got up from the chair and he looked like this. Like the Walking Dead. When he looked at me, he didn't look at me, he was looking through me at some mystic eldritch horror that lurked in the shadows that only he could see. This boy had seen a lot, and immediately I felt kinship with him. And he took my bags, and as we were walking away, he said a strange thing. He said, you're in luck. One of the guests has canceled, so you're not going to have to sleep with the staff. I said, excuse me? And he got a look on his face. You've probably seen the look. The look on his face said, oh my God, did I say that out loud? And he said, we're going to take you to the hotel now. That's what we'll do. Okay. So he drove me to the hotel, and he gave me a lovely, lovely, nice hotel room, which apparently was destined for one of the great guests. But since he canceled, they just had me. So I got the room. But remember, I understand, I'm not their A-list. So he left, and I unpacked my beach towel and my umbrella and my flip-flops and my Speedo, and I ran outside and I went onto the beach and I said, wow, beaches in England are nothing like California. We don't have as many icebergs. And I'd never seen a Viking longboat in California. So I kind of went back inside before I got frostbite. And I left the Speedo on because I kind of like that, but I put my regular clothes on. And I went to the con site. As your friends used to do, you had like the hotel here, the con site, you had to go a little distance to get to it. So I walked to the con site, and I'm looking around, and I found my friend who picked me up, and I said, "Okay, what do you need me to do?" And he looked at me and he said, "Everything." I don't follow. What do you mean? He said, "We had one guest here for Friday, Saturday." Today was Friday. "And we had the second guest, he's coming tomorrow, Saturday and Sunday. With the other guests canceled, you're all we have." And I said, "Oh, how sweet that I'm here to help you in your moment of desperation. But what do you need me to do?" He said, "Whatever you do." I said, "I got you covered." I said, "Make with the glass." And he did. They put me up on a big stage like this, and they had this huge room this size, and they were like, the 8 furries at the convention were sitting in the front row right here. So I just started doing what I do. I started putting this in my face and started having noise come out. Within an hour, the room was full. I think I did something right. I had a good time, and the convention folks seemed to like me. The next day, Saturday, dawned bright and clear, and I got up and I went to the con site, and the exact same staff member met me with a look on his face like this. And I said, "Uh-oh. What happened?" He said, "The other guest canceled." "You're it." I said, "So I'm the guest?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "You know what to do, boy. I got it covered." I think I must have done something right, because when I went home to America on Monday, I felt very good. And on Wednesday, I had an invitation to come back the next year, and this time I was on the front page. It was a little nerve-wracking, however, I was a little bit worried. What? Oh, the fuck do you want? Excuse me for a second. Fox, take over. I gotta see what this idiot wants.
Okay, so a couple of years ago I went to this pretty cool studio called Abbey Road. It looks like I might be going back pretty soon. So I have a new video for you guys. And Uncle Kage has very kindly let me hijack his story hour for like 4 minutes and 30 seconds or something. So without further ado, I'm going to play this amazing video that Easy Wolf worked on. Let's hope it plays.
Just beyond the surface of our world lies an undiscovered country, always changing, treacherous and beautiful. When we slumber and slip through the walls we built around us, when we wash onto unfamiliar shores and step into the wild, the paths ahead can carry us toward our future or trap us in tangled destinies and lies. Close your eyes and listen. Hear the music, soft and distant like a beacon in the dark. A dream catcher guiding you through feathers and twine to where you